Hello you guys, this is Pat with Cajun Sunshine Crafts, and this afternoon I am working on a container that I am going to Mod Podge. I went ahead and tore up my napkins already. I'm using paper napkins from the Dollar Tree. They were $1 a pack. They have several different designs to choose from, and this is just one of the ones that I chose. And what I did is I took one of the sheets. Well, actually I took two of the sheets because I didn't know exactly how many I was going to need. So I took two of the sheets and I kind of broke up the designs on the napkin into sections. I did some bigger tears, and then I made some medium-sized ones or smaller ones, and then I made some even smaller ones to fill in the gaps that they have left over. And I did kind of cut one out, not exactly right, but I kind of cut one out for the top of the lid, because on the top of the lid there's an inset. There's a lip with an inset on it that I wanted to sit on the inside of this lid. So I just kind of cut it out with just some scissors, the best I could. It's not a perfect circle, but it doesn't need to be perfect. And I'm just going to place it on there. Well, let's just do it so I can show you. Okay. This is the Super Gloss Mod Podge Super Gloss formula, and I like it because it's extra shiny after it finishes drying. And all I'm going to do is layer on the Mod Podge on the top of the container, and I'm going to put the napkin right on top of the Mod Podge. Now, all I have laying on my work surface is a sheet of parchment paper. I use parchment paper because it does not stick. The materials doesn't stick to it, and if it does, I just ball it up and throw it away when I'm finished with it. You could buy a roll of parchment paper at the Dollar Tree. It's very inexpensive, or wax paper, or whatever you can find. It keeps the mess down, less waste. Okay, now all I'm doing is just trying to tuck this napkin in as far as I can get it in there. And you have to be gentle with the napkin because you don't want it to rip. And I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of Mod Podge on top of the napkin that I laid down on here. And as you can see, it has a nice shine. I like the gloss, but I think I'd rather the Super Gloss because it's just super glossy. And I like things that shine. What can I say? Okay, so that is that. And for the sides, I'm just gonna go around the sides and place the pieces of napkins in random to make a design. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make it as random as possible. So I'm going to put this one right here. And I love the nautical theme. I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to be putting in this container, but you could bet your bottom dollar that it's going to be some kind of some kind of craft supply, maybe some paint brushes or some markers, or I'll find something to use it, to do with it, that's for sure. Okay, put another piece of napkin. Okay, and it doesn't matter if some of the white is still showing when you're finished, because it's still going to be shiny, it's still going to be pretty. You don't have to cover the whole container to get the same effect, because you once you're done and you put your second and third, or however many coats of Mod Podge you want to put on here, you won't be able to tell. It'll be just as pretty as if you would have covered the whole thing. Okay, see if I could go all the way around this so I don't have to stop again and put. I could just lay my pieces down and then come back over it with the Mod Podge. Okay, let's see. Let's put a little anchor right here. And we're going to put a seashell. Six seashells on the seashore. I can say that fast. 3 times fast. Okay. Let's put some more Mod Podge on this. Alrighty. And we're just gonna keep on. Let's find another different design, because I already have an anchor on there, so just keep adding your designs. Let's put a star. And this napkin was pretty sturdy. Most napkins that I've used in the past only had a 2-ply, was only 2-ply with 2 layers of paper. This napkin was a 3-ply. It actually had 3 layers of paper, 2 layers that I had to tear off, because you tear off that top layer, which I'll show you how I did that. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Again, we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be unique. Okay, let's see if I could stick a anchor right. Let's see. Let's see. I can tear this little star off right here and just use this little star next to the other star. How about that? See how that's going to look. Right there. Look at that. And it doesn't take very long for this Mod Podge to dry. It's already starting to get tacky as it's drying. And it is a little wrinkled. It is going to be a little wrinkled. But that's okay. It just gives it character. I love a little wrinkle. The older I get, the more wrinkly I get. And I'm kind of embracing the wrinkles and the gray hairs. I think I've earned those. I think we all have at one point in time. Let me put this right here, and I'm going to tear off this little piece if I can. I'm going to stick this down here. Look at that. No rhyme or reason, just however you want to do it. It's your piece of art. It's your piece of art. You do it the way you want it to look. And I think that looks pretty good right there. Okay, you guys. I'm going to go and finish the rest of this container. And then I will be back to show you the finished. Well, I'll be back to show you the finished product. Guys, I did want to mention that when you tear your paper to fit, I do have to tear a couple more to fill in a few little extra spaces, but there's the layer of paper, that the piece of paper that you tear is going to have layers to it. See, that one has one layer, but then it had a second layer on it as well. So I had to tear both of those layers off. And there's something else that I remembered that I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, the brush that I'm using. I used to use the sponge brushes to do these projects. Tracy with Gift Basket Appeal uses the sponge brushes. But I wasn't too crazy about them, and I went into Michael's one day, and this brush right here was on the clearance rack, and it was let's see if I can get a shot of that, if you could see it. It was $1.99, I think, or so, clearance. So I said, you know what? This is the first thing I thought of when I saw it. And I said, you know, if it doesn't work, it's $1.99. If it doesn't work, then I can use it for something else. I know it's not going to go to waste because craft supplies just doesn't go to waste at my house. I will end up using it for something. So, and Tracy always says, do what works for you. We are not doing this to make a Picasso. We are doing this as a stress relief, as an anxiety helper, as a nerve medicine. In my case, I used it to get through a very difficult medical journey that I had to go through, and I survived with Tracy's help along the way, because she was there, whether she knows it or not. She was there with me every single day and mostly every single night, because I couldn't, most of the time I was in so much pain I couldn't sleep. So I would put her videos on and just listen to her, watch her videos and listen to her soothing voice, and somehow it just made me feel so much better. I didn't have the courage or the stamina. I was just in a depressive mood, and all I have to do was just put Tracy's videos on, and within 5-10 minutes, I was already relaxed. I was already at peace. And she just doesn't know how much she's touched my world. I mean, I'm not going to get emotional, but okay. Now, all these little pieces that are hanging over, like the little lip right here, there's some pieces And there are a few more pieces. Oh, and about this brush, it does work fantastic with the Mod Podge. You do not have to use the saran wrap, Tracy. This brush doesn't tear the paper. It's very gentle on the paper. It's a wash brush, and it's by Simply Simmons is the name of the company that makes it. It's a 1-inch brush. The bristles are very, very soft on it, so it's very gentle with the paper. I've not yet had one tear that I was working on. And this Mod Podge is so easy to clean. It's so easy. It cleans right off of your brush. So, I mean, you can use this over again and again and again. And yeah, I think this is it for the first coat of the Mod Podge. And I'm going to let this sit for 30 to 45 minutes to dry. And then I'm going to come back and put another coat. And then we'll call her done. And I did fail to mention at the beginning of the video, before I started, I did use a white acrylic paint to cover the container, because the container held a spray bottle in it. It held a cleaning spray bottle, and you know, we just can't throw anything away anymore. If it looks, I mean, we just can't throw anything away anymore. I knew I can make this look pretty, and I knew I would have uses for it. So there you go. So we're gonna let this dry, and I'll come back in a few. As you guys can tell, I forgot to turn on the mic. So I was talking the whole time, but evidently I was talking to myself because nothing recorded. All I'm saying here is that I went ahead and put on a second coat of the Mod Podge, and everything was completely dry, and I used some more of the napkin there. As you could tell, the holes in it looked like it was eaten by a mouse. Swiss cheese. But I'm not going to throw that away. I will use that again on a different project. And here I was just explaining that when I think of underwater features in the ocean or in a fish tank or anywhere, I think of green seaweed and foliage that's underwater in the ocean, and that's very blurry. I'm sorry about that. And I thought I was going to add some stars to complement the stars that are on the container. Well, here I'm going to attempt to place the washi tape around the lip of the container, right where the lid is going to end. But the washi tape decided to give me a little problem here. And then it didn't want to stick, so I decided to use some art glitter glue to help it along. So I'm going to get up and go get the art glitter glue, which is right around the corner right there. So here I'm going to just dab a little bit of the art glitter glue all the way around the container where the tape is going to lie, which is going to allow me to be able to move the tape around also, if it doesn't stick exactly where I want it to, which you'll see. I will adjust it a little bit because I am slightly ADD, OCD, all them DDs. I can't help it. I mean, it is what it is. But that art glitter glue, it does help you. It gives you that little wiggle room when you need to move something. It doesn't stick quite as hard, quite as quick, but it is a very fast drying glue, and I use it on almost every single project that I do. So there is that, the washi tape. And I thought about putting some washi tape on the lid also. There, you see, I'm adjusting the washi tape there, and that art glitter glue is giving me the opportunity to do that because it doesn't dry right away. I was going to add some washi tape right there, but I put it up there and then decided against it. It would have looked okay, and I could have done it. I mean, you can do what you want. Like I said, there's no wrong way or no right way. Your way is the right way. However it turns out is your right way. Okay, now I'm going to start to add some sequins in that same color green, and I'm going to use the Pick Me Up stick by Silhouette, which is a lifesaver when you're picking up sequins or any kind of small gems. I didn't think it was gonna last because of just a little. It looks like it's just a little bit of putty on the end of a stick, but that putty goes such a long way, and I've been using that thing forever, and I'm not even near. I mean, it still looks brand new, and all it is just it's like a little putty in the top of it, and as you turn the top, a little bit of the putty is exposed, just enough to grab onto whatever it is you're trying to pick up. There I'm showing the art glitter glue. What I like about the art glitter glue is that you can use it on projects like this where you're putting small objects down, because if the glue shows through, once that glue is dry, it's clear, so you won't see it after the glue is dry. So you can use it on little bitty small things, and the glue, it won't dry white, it'll dry clear, so you won't be able to see it. And here I am struggling to try to get that sequin on there, and it wasn't cooperating, so I needed to go ahead and put some more glue on there, and that time it worked perfectly. And I'm just going to continue adding more sequins all the way around the container. Excuse me. One thing I did forget to do while I was filming is I did forget to add the little stars on. I was going to add them around the stars that are already on there, but I did go back and add those on after, when I was off camera, and I will show some pictures at the end of the video what the final project looked like and how it turned out. And I should be just about getting to the end of the bottom of the container. Just have a couple of more on the bottom right here, and then I'm going to add a few on the top on the cover. And I didn't want to add anything to the very, very top of the container, because I did like the way that that crab came out on top of the container, and I didn't want to hide that at all. So I thought about putting a bow or a ribbon or some kind of embellishment on top up there, but I did like the way that the crab came out, and sometimes less is more. I do like to embellish, but sometimes less is more. And it's not extravagant, but it's pretty. It's blingy, shiny, sparkly, and it's pretty. It's practical. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put in here yet. I'm still debating on that. You'll see in a little while. I did have an idea of some things that I could put in there. Excuse me. See that crab? I just couldn't put anything on there. I didn't want to cover him up. I wanted him to shine through. And right here is where I'm talking about not knowing what to put in there. And I even thought, my hand can fit all the way down to the bottom of it. And the little plastic bags that we get from like the dollar store or the grocery store or the Dollar General, or I've repurposed those. I use those as the small trash bags in my little small garbage cans. So you can even just ball those up and stick them in there. Just layer them one on top of the other, on top, just like I'm showing you right there, on top, one on top of the other. And then when you need them, you could just grab them out and put them in your garbage can as your garbage bag. And nobody would ever know what you have in there. That they would just think that it's just a pretty container, decorative container. And on projects like this, you can use the colors that you want to use that would match with the color theme in your room, or you can give it away to someone as a gift. That would make a fantastic gift. Just for no reason, make someone's day, just brighten their day. If I can make one person happy by watching this video and lift their spirits and give them some inspiration, then so be it. Thank y'all so much for watching my channel. Please give me a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And keep on smiling, because smiles are free. Thank y'all so much for watching my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't. And I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you. Bye.